The Pokémon World Championships mark the end of the competitive Pokémon season as the most important event of the year. Now, everything out there has a World Championship. In every game, sport, esport, activity, an end-of-year celebration to find the best of the best takes place under some semblance of a World Championship. Whether it's basketball, chess, Beyblade, or my personal favorite, freestyle canoeing, fandoms from all over the globe gather to share their love and passion for whatever their craft may be. In the case of Pokemon, it's quite special. A lot of us grew up with the Pokemon anime, following the story of Ash Ketchum, whose ultimate goal was to win his World Championships. But what's even more special in the case of Pokemon is that we come together to celebrate more than just one medium of enjoying this game. Almost like the Olympics, the best of each Pokemon game gather together and compete to crown the ultimate trainer in their respective fields. We have the more traditional way of understanding Pokemon with Pokemon VGC, the video game championships. Everyone's familiar with the card game and collecting Pokemon cards. Pokemon Go, the game where you can go outside and catch your very own Pokemon, also has a competitive side and is featured at the World Championship. And in my case, Pokemon Unite, a team-based 5 vs 5 strategic battler where each team drafts a curated set of Pokemon in order to try and score more points than the other team before the time runs out. This will be the third year Pokemon Unite will be featured at the Pokemon World Championships. From London to Japan and now in Honolulu, Hawaii, trainers compete in their regional events to crown representatives from all over the world, accumulating to this final event. And yeah, that's me, after winning the North American International Championships. One of the prizes being an automatic invite to the World Championships. But that was in 2023, and this video is covering 2024's World Championships. I didn't compete in 2024. Not really. Technically I did, but not enough to qualify for the World's event. So how did I do it? Well, when it comes to Pokemon Unite, each region sends a set number of teams to represent that region. This year for North America, we're sending 3 teams. The top 2 teams in championship points, which you earn by playing various tournaments throughout the year, and the winners of the North American International Championships, NAIC for short, the event that me and my team ended up winning last year. In 2023, last year, I was on the team that actually did both. Like I said, we won NAIC, but we also had the most championship points in our region, which granted us a chance to compete in Japan at the World Championships. Our run at Worlds deserves its own video, so if you want to hear more about that, let me know in the comments. The year before, in 2022, my team also happened to be first in championship points. It just so happened that the format that year was not the best, in my opinion, obviously, and it didn't grant the #1 team an invite. Instead, it came down to placing top 2 at the regional event similar to NAIC, but we fell short of that and we didn't get to compete. In 2024, this year, I decided to step away from competing. You see, my team that I competed with in the former years, Team TTV, unfortunately had some split ups. Our main defender player, Zugrug, he ended up leaving in 2023, joining the former World Championships who had a spot. And we also ended up parting ways with our top laner, our speedster all-rounder kind of player, Celestial, in the same offseason. We were able to make 2 world-class pickups. We got Pikadiff, who had competed in Worlds both years and was a phenomenal player, as well as Vin Diesel, who's an up-and-coming player, had proven himself in various tournaments leading up to this season. But as soon as the season started, we lost Vin. There was a player ban issued to him based on unsportsmanlike behavior, and with just weeks before the tournament, we were left scrambling. We did manage to put together a team for the first qualifiers, and we qualified without dropping a single match. The following week, we were set to compete at a spot at the European International Championships, and we unfortunately didn't make it through. We got knocked out within the first few rounds. Now look, losing is a part of the process, something that had been familiar to me and my team, but this time it didn't really feel the same. We're competing with a team burning on fumes, and we just didn't have the same kind of chemistry like we did in the past. That group of 5 in that condition was not a team that could win the World Championships. And for most of us on the team, including myself, that was the only real goal left to accomplish. I'd been on the #1 team in my region twice, won so many tournaments, more than I can even count, including the biggest one at that point in North America, on a stage surrounded by our fans. Competing this year meant winning worlds or nothing. And with that understanding, our jungler player and another one of my good friends, Lutano, decided to leave in hopes to find a team that would take him to that promised land. And me, without any of the original members of my team, missing Zugrug, Lutano, two friends I've had long before Pokemon Unite even existed, I was left at a crossroads. I could also find my way onto a team and battle it out to make it to the World Championships. But with this year already starting out so rough, the last 2 years taking a toll on both my physical and mental health, and most importantly, not being able to play with my friends, which is really, really, really important to me, I decided to step away from competing altogether. I tried, and I felt like I'd failed. But at the same time, I had a list of accomplishments that I was proud of, and I was happy to appreciate. As the year carried on, I was never really able to step away, which I'm grateful for. And I was constantly involved within the competitive scene. 1 month shortly after I decided to retire, one of the teams was left without a defender player, Team YT. They called me up and I was like, okay. And I learned how to play defender within a week. I participated, we had a good time. Didn't end up winning, but I was able to fill in for them, which is important for me. The official Pokemon Unite broadcast reached out to me and brought me on to do segments that they ended up coining as interviews, where I got to be the first pro player to provide analysis during tournaments. That was an amazing experience. There's also a moment where Team TTV, we almost reformed in the middle of the season when there was a roster apocalypse going on. That's a story for another time. All of that being said, how did I manage to qualify as a competitor for this year's World Championship? Oh, it's not all that complicated. You see, each team consists of 5 active players and 1 alternate. The alternate, or what I like to say sub's job, is to be there in the event one of the players is not able to attend. Basically, ready at all times to compete in case there's an emergency. One of the 3 teams going to Honolulu this year, the Orange Juicers, who also happen to win in 2024, featuring my friend Zugrug, needed a player that can fill in for scrims, provide some competitive insight, be there as a 6th man, and most importantly, be able to compete in case someone isn't able to make it. I was one of the best players to be able to fill that role, and I was happy that they chose me for that position. So while I most likely won't get the chance to actually compete on stage this year, that's okay. It's not my year. I did technically qualify, and my badge does say competitor at the World Championships. As for if I'll come back and compete again next year, I don't know. I've got a lot of thinking to do, and I'll be in Hawaii this year where I can have some long walks on the beach, and I can really do some introspection to see what exactly I have in store for the following year. But that's all. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.